All right, coming in hot here today. Apologies, a little bit behind schedule. Definitely sorry about that. Was hustling home after getting the kids situated, but now it's time. We get to hop on into the arena ourselves. I've kind of teased it a little bit last week, my plans of sorts. And the first and foremost, the main thing that I want to show off is, of course, a new addition to the team here today. Just loading it up right here, right now. I literally just sat down at the computer probably about a minute ago. So I am hustling, but we'll get things moving here in just a moment's time. Because it was pretty crazy. Of course, I play a lot of Scion, right? And one of the teams, or one of the big upgrades, of course, or the big carries of that team is your Sinolf. And for the longest time, my Sinolf has not only been terrible, to say the least, it's been a 46 TP, or TPI, with absolutely nothing in Omega power. So my Sinolf basically tickled, and of course it's an Invoker. That's supposed to be one of your endgame carries. But I was very, very thankful that when I was going through the Aluva decks, trying to see what kind of upgrades there were for Sinolfs potentially, I saw Sir Dexter was up there quite often. And I was just looking and asking, I had reached out to Sir Dexter on Discord, and specifically asked, like, hey, I see there's this one, I think it was like maybe a 50 or 60 TPI, or maybe, I think it was maybe a 50 TPI Sinolf. But it had, I think, level 4 in Omega power, and to me, that was a good enough upgrade. So I reached out and asked, like, because of course, I don't necessarily have the funds or the money to just be buying up alluvials and whatnot. As much as I'm here in an NFT-based kind of game, or in a crypto game, Web3 game, whatever you want to call it, where spending on your team is the norm, I am not necessarily that individual. And I can't necessarily keep up, and can't afford to do so. So I had reached out to Sir Dexter saying, hey, like, I'm interested in this 40 TPI Sinolf that you have, but at least it has Omega power, and I was wondering if you needed anything that I could potentially trade you. And Sir Dexter so graciously said, like, I have many of these, like, take this, thank you for everything. And they sent me a Sinolf, and it didn't end up being the same Sinolf. It actually ended up being better. So I do want to welcome, for the first time on the team here, we see they're the one at level 25, but right here, this is Aqua Alf, to be specific. A gift from Sir Dexter that has helped me big time in the arena. I need to give it this Sinolf the laps now. We gotta level this up, and I cannot wait to see where this takes place. Thankfully, I don't have to necessarily replace my Sinolf. Katana, my other Sinolf, it still gets to be second in command here for the Sinolfs. There are instances where sometimes I'll throw two on the field. So this is going to be incredible. So with that, as Big Man JB, who I see in the chat, is talking about here in the YouTube chat. First off, welcome, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. But Scions are having a hard time, but 3-4 Invoker damage is insane. I think ownership is a big wall now for new players, especially tier 5s. Yeah, 100% agree on both fronts. This was something that I was worried about. I had called it out during the This Week in Alluvium segment. Here, I'm going to queue up for a game right now, but I'll keep yapping. But I'd called it out immediately when I saw that the higher levels are going to be just that much crazier. And let this lobby right here be Exhibit A. There is no reason I should make top 3 in this lobby. I'm going to try my damnedest, but this is an absolute incredible lobby of players here. And I'm about to get exposed real quick, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Because, yeah, I don't know right now how a new player comes in and enjoys themselves, frankly, enough to get themselves involved into the entire ecosystem. Like, this is an absolute incredible lobby. 7-player lobby. The only bot looks like it's Lil Packer. And this will be extremely tough. Going to put me to the test, and that's what I like. I don't want an easy, an easy lobby. I don't want easy access, for example. But the part that's going to hurt is that because this is such a tough lobby, I might not win that many rounds. And because I don't win that many rounds, it means I'm not getting experience, which is the most critical thing. I would love to go up against everybody in this lobby all day long. However, I'm not going to be getting any experience because you actually have to win the rounds in order to get experience. And that is something that I definitely hope does get looked at in the future, because I do honestly believe that even if you lose, you should at least get something for the alluvials you did eliminate. That way, it doesn't feel as bad going up against top level teams, players, and collections. Like, I'm looking at this team right here, right now, off the rip, and I know I'm going to be in trouble. I did not get any yellow components in the slightest. This entire game is going to be on hard mode, and I need to cook and try to figure something out, because this is going to be so tough. I'm excited, but this is scary, that's for sure. Now, of course, since I was a little bit late, I didn't actually even get to check this to make sure that all systems are online. So quickly gonna double check that. Of course, we are multi-streaming. We do have chat windows open of every single platform. Might not be on the screen because I don't want Twitch to slap me, but we do have everybody, at least on my screen, I can see everybody there. So, of course, as always, it's not mandatory, but if you'd like to chat, by all means, you're more than welcome to. At the end of the day, I'm just happy that you're here. Now, let's take a look at our weapons off the rip here. Gonna be looking for the Psion-based weapon, Water, Aqua Blaster going to come on through. Finding the 2 Totofis here is nice. Let's level up one more time and potentially recycle one more. Can I potentially get another yellow augment? Nefri up here. What's Nefri looking like? Okay, they have their own alluvials, absolutely. A couple level 18s. Definitely well on their way. But even still, leveling up, I mean, they're holding their own very well. I think I might be able to take this one, but it's definitely not going to be an easy one by any means. Gladly scoop that one up. Oh, cat crying at the door. Bear with me. Come on, girl. Yeah, one cat loves staying in here while I cast. The other one does not in the slightest. Let's do the refunding energy costs for our Omegas, and I'm getting health, it looks like, so that's not going to help me at all. I've been using Fortified Bulwarks and as much nature and as much water as I can get. Toxic, Aegis, Harbinger. Okay. I saw that one clip you posted, JB, where I think it was your Axodon clutched out a what should have been a lost round. That was pretty epic. It was cool to see that one. This region might actually help me out a little bit here because I'm going to get absolutely pounded on for the first little bit. There's a good chance that maybe if I'm lucky, this can get me to max credits quicker so I can start looking towards how do I play afterwards. Because there's basically 2 ways that I've been playing Psion. One is the arguably greedier route, where I end up with 4 Invoker, potentially. Where I would hit level 5. If I see that nobody else is running any Tiantis, or any, like, Totofis, I'll sit there and roll and try to get a C-Focus. But if it is contested at all, I will instead just start leveling towards, say, level 8 or level 9 and look for Alfie and Squiz instead. because there's no point me wasting so many credits on something that's contested when arguably the harder hitting carries are later. But of course you want that Seaforest, because if you do get 4 Invoker, it is extremely deadly. We do end up with another yellow component. There we go. We can finally get our first energy piercer. Gladly accept that. I'm not going to recycle and augment this time because I want to see what these Dokas give me. Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. Very rarely, or would I've ever guessed, that a Axodon would one-on-one a Phosphorus, but hell yeah, we saw it and it was a good time. What I like to see. Yeah, so now I'm kicking myself here with the amount of attack augments I'm getting. Do I just potentially change course? Let's level first and foremost. Let's get another bulwark out here. Because in regards to other Scions, like I could play the greedy route right now. I'd be comfortable doing it. Because nobody else has a TNT. I don't see anybody else building Scion. But these augments suck for this. Or these components, rather. I'd have to sit here and micromanage these components the entire game. I am very torn. Yeah, we're gonna take this one. We do manage to get around here from Hector, so I'll gladly take that. Stop the bleeding a little bit. And now, right here, right now, I have to make a choice. Going up against Fox Spirits, I'm probably not going to win this round regardless of what I do. I think we can actually try and at least get our first little bit leveled. Maybe I can potentially stall this out a little. Okay, should be using those components. We do manage to get TNT, so okay, now I actually have to make a choice. The full Invoker team I fought, all Invokers had over 10k damage, 2 of them over 30, and still managed to beat it. Damn. Very, very nice. I don't think I'm going to have enough time to sit here and roll at low level. So as much as this may be the wrong move, we'll level up once. No. Archie, get into the fight. Let's actually do a better job of protecting our Scions. Something along these lines. Bunker complete. Give you a tanky augment. Actually, wait. That might be the way to go. Since we found one early, the alternative way to go, I think, is, or my plan rather, is probably the way to go here. Where this will be Invoker, but not in the traditional sense. Because I don't think I could stay at level 5 or level 6 for very long. Not in this lobby. And if I just take too much damage early, even if I do get my endgame team, it might be too late. And having all of these attack augments is definitely making things interesting as well. Okay, what other Scion weapons can I get? Potentially Earth Grasp. But Magma sucks though right now, doesn't it? Okay, let's try it this way. Good enough. Thank you. Okay, Fleesh, come back. 1, 2 resistance piercing. Additional fighting augments. switch out one and hopefully... Actually, wait, no. I want that. This is how you get percent health now. There we go. And there we are. Invoker's strong if it goes up against a high healing team or fast damage team. Yeah. Okay. In a couple of ranked games that I have, like, I'm kind of torn. Like, I've seen in the Discord a lot of people complaining that Psions feel like they don't do anything. But then I'll hop onto the ladder and then I'll hold my own. But against top collections, like what we see here in this lobby, yeah, I'll probably be in for a world of hurt, but I gotta at least keep it even, keep it honest. Like, even right here, up against Alluvium Hunter, we're actually gonna be able to take this one on even playing field. And what were they even running? They had the Empath Revenant going on. So I'll gladly take that one. Still trying to get my tabs all over here. Attack speed bonus? Bonus. Bonus? And the Chrono Flux. I think just the raw attack speed off the rip, and there's a Squiz, actually. That's kind of huge. Squiz, come join us. Get some cover by your fellow tanks. Okay, now I'm all caught up on all my tabs. Thank you for waiting. What do we scoop up here? I still have, of course, Sinolf needs to join the fight, so I have another water available. Okay, let's level up again. I'm going to place Hetty into the spot here. Just enough to interfere with the Axon. This way I could potentially keep it there against rogues. The Immunus Void Reactor, this is my go-to for support augments because it gives immunity, which could be the difference maker between a cast coming out or not. Is Empath potentially the way that I want to go, or just healing over time? I'm going to go Empath. Of course, I can just kind of give it to anybody. Let's give it to the Squiz for the time being. Did I just read that correctly? Alluvium Hunter might not have it on the field, but there is a Furiox there, so I cannot be putting myself to a spot where I think that there is no Furies out there at all. There absolutely is. Alright, good job, Squiz. Good little final shot. Can we get this bear out of here, though? Okay, got it out before it actually got to us, so that works out. A true sight and attack range. Could I possibly manufacture this a little bit better so I can do something like this? Keep the bunker tight. I think that's tight enough that nothing can actually jump into it. I think I'm happy with this. Push another level. I'm right in the middle of the pack. This isn't actually too bad. Now up against Stinky Pinky, though. Mixture of rogues and fighters. Got the Berserker online. And we're looking pretty good. Stinky Pinky's actually still level 6, so I thankfully just have the numbers advantage to keep me alive. And we should, even still, it's going to be a closer one, but we do end up taking it down. My 5th Scion, I mean, this is kind of weird because I have the Mammoth here available. And I honestly love having Mammoth just for the fact of crowd control. But then if I do eventually get Alfie on the board, I'll have 6 Scion, and that's just going to be diminishing returns, and I don't like that. We're almost at level 9 here, so we're getting there. Bond Daddy Ratty, of course, that Burnite in the corner is going to be an absolute thorn in our side. Nature, Templar. Going to be tough to deal with. So Burnite's going to be basically untouched, and then the big issue, like, it's not going to be Furiox anymore, or the Fury that's going to be the issue. It does get taken down, rather, by the Polar Bear. Just absolutely run over by Bond Daddy Ratty. We get one more, at least, off the board before we do end up going down. We will hit level 9 this time. Yeah, Nature with Bulwark is extremely good, absolutely. They just synergize so nicely with each other. You absolutely can be extremely tanky for quite a long time. And God forbid you don't end up actually getting focused down, then, I mean, you're in great shape. Okay. So we're going up. I even want to put Alfie in, not on this fight, I don't think. But I think what I end up doing, we bring in Mammoth. There's our 5th Scion. So we are getting some big Omega power bonuses. That part is great, that part's fine. Potentially switch up to Scarabot as one of our tanks. And I'm going to try my best to stay at 70 credits as long as I can. But I know my time is limited. Thankfully, it's not looking like I'm going to be one of the first ones out of this lobby. But I still don't have faith that we can get very high. We'll see. By not getting greedy and going for Sephoris, I think I might have saved myself the game, basically. Because if I was just on level 7 right now, for example, I'd be cooked. Half the reason I'm winning any of these fights is just because I have numbers advantage. Okay, finding a Mammoth evolution is quite nice. Alfie's 2nd partner is there. And we do level up. There's our first Invoker. Okay. Let's switch out TNT. We get Tsunami Invoker on for the time being. But I don't plan on staying Tsunami. What do we get for components? Lots of fighting. Holy smokes. There's another Scion. There's another Bulwark, potentially. One more time. What kind of Scions do we get? We don't. More damage, more damage. Let's get another Bulwark so I can very quickly throw that on you and be fine. The additional attack speed, potentially. Let's bring this to Fury. Gonna recycle this one. And there's Squiz. All leveled up. Lots of water, but still my tank line is so weak right now. I don't want to get rid of the Grocko because of the 5 water. This I can switch. I think I'd much rather have the Ador compared to an Archie. That's the painful part about having a level so fast, right? These early alluvials that should be very easy to get, I did not get at all. And Nefri's actually kind of hit the gas a little bit. This team is doing a lot more damage now. Thankfully, my Invokers are still alive, but lots of low health bars. And right as my Sinolf cast, it does end up falling. So unfortunately, Aqua's first showing here will end up being a fall. The Nefri hit the gas. I imagine they have to be low on credits. That's actually not that bad. 30-something? We lost Hector, actually. Damn, okay. This is a killer lobby, then. Omega Power starting shields, potentially. Combat Rhythm, oddly enough, I'm going to pass it. Energy resistance? No, I think I might just, oddly enough, want additional shield. Am I wrong to think that? Let's give it a shot. See how it goes. Okay. Let's clean up this bench a little bit. Okay. A little bit late to grab that fiery, but we'll gladly take it a little bit late. Now, Umber's a little bit lost. Got caught by my mammoth, which is quite nice, but Stinky Pinky still looks very good right now. And we will get shredded. Absolutely shredded. Which means I have to hit the gas now, basically. Blame the kids. Not this time. How's it going, Gear? Hope you're having a great day. So 3 of us within kill shot. Did Nefri make it out of there alive? That's better. There you go. Okay, so TNT's not going to do me any justice. So let's see. Let's hit the gun. Let's just go for shielding everybody. Might be a mistake, but we'll roll with it. Okay. Octius. Now a Fisto. But I'm staying too long. We need to move. We need to move. Shit. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do at all. That was supposed to be the Axon that was supposed to leave. Okay, so I don't have full Scions this time. But let's see what a Fisto can do. Of course, going up against lobby leader Fox Spirit, they have Spore, so the more and more units that fall, the more I'm getting just attack damage debuffs or Omega debuffs. We're going to be holding our own greatly, but I think the lack of firepower might have just cost me the round here. I think I will be going out. Only 20 HP. No, we have one. We have 1 HP left. Holy smokes. Okay, we're barely going to make it into the top 4. Okay, how much do I need to level? We're leveling. Okay. Mammoth, come back. I have a little bit of overflow with bulwarks, but I mean, what can I do at this point? Getting an additional is not going to help me really, I don't think. Well, let's see. If I win the round, I'll pick it up. You thought that I was good at this game? I'm okay. But this lobby was full of absolute top collections and top players. This is definitely a tough task. Hitting level 10, so I have everybody I could possibly want on the field, but the big problem is they gave me attack damage augments rather, this entire game, so I do not have the energy resistance, or the energy piercing rather, that I would want. So Fisto, I'm happy they're here, but they're having such a hard time. We have the numbers advantage, but that tank is right there in my face. Can we get this Fern down? We do. 3-on-1, potentially hanging on to this game. We will survive. I will pick up that Fury. And we will live another day. Oh. Please do not give me attack damage augments. They are useless to me. What's also kind of useless right now is my current setup in regards to Ranger bonding. The Tsunami is not doing anything for me right now. Like, this is so annoying. With the setup that I do have, what I would optimally need, I believe, is to find a Dualef and then make myself steam. I mean, this is a good start. Maybe, just maybe. I mean, there's Scoriox there too, though. Oh, we're right there. I think we gotta go for it, right? Oh, we get it. Steam Invoker with Piercing. Shield Crate, sure. Resistance on to save my big guy. What is his health? Resistance. Let's give it a shot. I have my augments kind of split, so I don't necessarily like that. But this is my best chance. We did manage to hit Steam Invoker. Up against a bunch of rogues here, though, from Stinky Pinky. This is going to be tough, but the shots from my dual F are where they need to be. And versus a lobby with big guns, big collections, and fantastic players, we've made the podium. Barely. Oh. Grab the Fury back here. If there is some sort of world where maybe we can get Scoriox in here, that'd be insane, but I highly doubt that it's even possible. Bondaddy Ratty now. So we're gonna have the Fur Knight constantly causing problems, and in fact, I think there is a way around this. Make it so that it's the Furiox getting hit by the Fur Knight. You don't nerf attack speed anymore. So Furiox basically gets away with it scot-free. Blaster Knight's not going to do anything, I think, to Dual F, which could hopefully, if I move it on over, can we get this Dual F while Steam is active to go absolutely bonkers? Need a good shot fired right through everybody. That's a good chunk. Stun on top of it as well here with the Aphisto follow-up. And here it comes, and sure enough, there we go. The Dual F did not get stopped. The cast did not go away, but I don't think we have enough tank line. Their front line is there. I'm so worried about that damn bird, but the front line is still just as powerful, so we will end up falling in third. But I'm low-key pretty happy with how we played here this one. In terms of experience gained this time, we did hit about 10k, so not a whole heck of a lot considering I have a boost on, and it's still rather on the low side. But for now, maybe we can take a look at our final battle here. In the red, we do have Bondaddy Ratty. In the green, Fox Spirit, who has yet to take a single loss here in this game. Looking absolutely fantastic. Earth, Spore, Nature, Air, basically all of the tanky elements with the new Revenant and the new Mystic as well, alongside Empath. So there's shields, there's heals, there's damage debuffs all over the place. On the opposite side, we have Heavy Nature, Wildfire coming out here from Bondaddy Ratty, with the Fires, with the Templar. But with so much damage reduction on Fox Spirit's team, are they going to be able to even break through? Familiar right in the corner, but even then it's Omega. It's got a pretty powerful Omega, but it felt like it just essentially tickled that Blastonite. Did next to nothing. So good here for Bondaddy Ratty, actually. So far, the DPS are still alive. They're still kicking. But how about that Adorius? How the hell did the Adorius actually just get one shot there? Did Blastonite somehow do that? It's now a Fern and a Geyser up against the Furiox and the Fur Knights, and there's no shot. They couldn't kill the Fur Knights? Oh, that just feels so weird, but a fantastic battle nonetheless. Good game to Fox Spirit and to the entire lobby. GG's. I honestly thought Bondaddy Ratty had something there. But I'm happy to have gotten third. We get closer and closer to that 2,000 point marker, which is kind of my goal here for the season. I want to hit 2,000, call it there. I think I'll still be in the top 75, top 50 maybe better. But next season, especially if there's a reason to fight, I want to go hard again. Oh. Why is my mic saying it's on even though I'm not talking? Is my mic okay to use by chance? I'm just very curious as to where this audio is coming from. We got the next one loaded up here in just a moment's time. Yeah, that's weird, because I'm not saying a thing, and it's saying that my microphone's picking up something. Definitely slightly concerned about that. Oh, now it's gone away. Oh, and it's back again. Am I losing it, or is there something going on, chat? That is weird. Huh. Alright. Well, if there is something up, please do let me know. Definitely throwing me for a little bit of paranoia, seeing that my microphone is saying that it's going, even though technically it shouldn't be. How about now? Oh, maybe that was it. There we go. Well, that worked for the time being. So let's get into the game here. So absolutely picking up that Emberling Rod. And I'm so far kind of liking what our team is looking like. Along these lines, Energy Crate as well. Much better compared to the last time. Too far. Let's get the Ranger in here as well. And just do something like that to start things off. Now this lobby a little bit different. Of course, it's not the major killer lobby that we did see in the first game, but it's still going to be a tough one, don't get me wrong. I know Alluvium Hunter in particular, Ziffit has also taken many, many games off of me. And then I remember playing against Hogan, but I can't remember what kind of teams they run, so we'll have to see. Any other distractions here this game? My goodness. Alright, so going for Scion's side of things once again. So I'm going to pick up the Water Imprint. Not getting the augments that I would like as of this moment. Because I'm torn. There is one augment that you can go for. That is a fusion one, where it stacks attack damage and Omega power on every single elimination. That can be good, and you get some pretty crazy Omega power numbers if you do end up doing that, especially if you stack them. However, that does of course rely on getting at least one elimination relatively early, right? Because otherwise, if you don't get an elimination or it doesn't assist in the elimination, then you aren't getting any value from it. Distractions you can be one. You absolutely could there, here. When I was talking about if there was something going on with my mic, did you happen to hear anything weird, or was I just seeing bars move on my OBS without anything actually happening? Just my voice. Okay, that's fair. That's fine. I'm okay with that. All good then. So in this lobby this time here, taking a look at who else is going here. So Foggy Scope also has the Emberling Rod, but I believe that is a bot. So as to what they're actually going to build, I'm not 100% sure. We'll get ourselves a tank upgrade. And I think maybe we will try this just because I'm getting a little bit fed up of waiting on the cycles not going my way. We will get one absorbing pulse reactor. I do have the glitched out force cell that does not actually belong on my bench. I don't actually have that. Just a bit of a visual glitch. And again with these attack damage augments. Man. Definitely not getting lucky here in the first couple of games in regards to these augments. And we'll keep recycling the tank ones. Keep moving the other ones around. Because I would love to be able to have some more Omega Power ones. Luvium Hunter's level 5. Do I want to try and match? I think we do. That's not my play. Let's try that again. Classic. There we go. While I might be having the occasional tech uncertainty, it's not time to take my toaster for a swim, as that song would imply. That's lots of low health bars, but unfortunately, just not actually getting the job done. Barely missed out on that extra coin for credits, but it's not the end of the world. Alfie this early would be kind of crazy, actually. We can really start to level Alfie up big time. Let's bring Fleesh out. Alfie come here. Something like this. Do I maybe try this style? Stacking pulse reactors instead? So I've got at least the one for resistance piercing. And then we can see. And I'll be looking at that little pink number down in the bottom left-hand corner. How quickly it starts to shoot up. I think it was around 150 at the start of this round. And it's why I love kind of stacking these things, because how fast it goes. And this is still just early rounds. So yeah, about 148 is my Alfie's base Omega power. Getting just that much more that quickly is pretty incredible. And finding another one of these here, I can then send the same thing over. That's a Tofi. What's it looking like for TNTs? How greedy do we go? There is one TNT here for Luvium Hunter, and that is enough to make me say, Kate, never mind, we're not going for all Sephoris. We'll do something like this instead. Do a couple of rolls here. See if maybe we can get a TNT for ourselves and at least get our tier 1s. Oh, we're going to find a Squiz too. What a setup. This is ridiculous. Finding all my tier 5s so quickly at such low percentages. Speaking of Ziffits, here they are taking me on right here, right now. Kind of kicked myself that I didn't put my Alfie in the back, but it looks like a Ranger and the Tianti are going to be able to get the job done. Heck, the Alfie even actually still lives, so there we go. We're in great shape. Barely going to take that one. Second Blossom damage. I do like that one a lot, and there's the Tianti. I've basically gotten everything that I would want. Those lines. I still need Archie. I still need Axon. I'm gonna find a Scarabok too. What the heck? Just bypassed Archie again? This is weird. But let's see how Alfie can do here. It's in a good spot to at least not get hit by the Little Fern Interrupt. And we can see with so much extra reinforcements now, we're going to be able to do so much damage. Just keep stacking that Omega power. Excuse me. But of course, this is the spot. Like, I have to make a choice, regardless if it's the right one. I just need to make one and commit to it. And I think just power leveling again, just kind of bypassing the early units is probably the best way to go again. The 10% Omnivamp is kind of nice. I think I'm going to steal that this time. We'll level up. Get Cling into the field. So I'm now at 4 and 4. 4 Scion, 4 Bulwark. And a lot of these, at least, are higher tiers. So by leveling up, at least my tank line's not going to suffer as badly. Dropping the Scarabok's probably not a good thing to be doing, but won't matter here for this NPC round. Of course, we're going to be getting attack damage augments all over the place. The Immunus Void Reactor we will take once again for a little extra immunity for our Luvials. Scarabok. Set up something like this. Let's switch out the Grotto. Let's get Teddy here as well. Something like this potentially. Give this to Scarabok. Can we switch this into a Omega? One potentially, please. That would be incredible. Seeing the flare there, I would love that to be my 5th tank. However, my flare is really, really good. My Singe is terrible. Very, very low stats. Its level's okay, but it's not necessarily the greatest, and I really shouldn't be putting any more time into really focusing it. So as much as I want to pick it up, I will leave it be for now. A GLHF-44. One of the bots, I do believe. Looked relatively even in regards to bursting through my first couple of tanks, but the last ones did a fantastic job. We'll take that one down. But the top 3 right here, or excluding myself, so Luvium Hunter, Hogan, and Ziffit, they're the ones that I'm worried about in this fight. One thing to note here for Ziffit, that's a lot of air, so going up against them, I'm going to have an extremely tough time actually bursting through their team. Hogan, they've got a lot of nature, so that's going to be tough. And here for Luvium Hunter, at least they've gone for a lot of earth, but I do have to worry about Bloom. Okay, we'll level up once again here. Get another tank onto the field in just a moment's time. The tank, yeah, I don't got another Scion that I could really put down other than a Fleesh, right? I mean, maybe we could put Fleesh in. Go for full firepower here versus Hogan. See how we can do on that front. Little baby Lynx is still here doing work. But the gross thing about this composition currently is that there's just no value at all for my Ranger. Harbinger isn't doing anything for it. Being Toxic's not doing anything for it, so I'm definitely behind on that front. Missing out on that synergy is definitely going to hurt me a lot. Yeah, we're just going to basically fall into a brick wall here. Where's Hogan standing at in terms of credits? Oh, they're sitting pretty too, over 70. Beautiful. The likelihood of actually me finding Sephoris is so low, but maybe we keep it just in case. We potentially do a little bit of rolling now. Very well could. In fact, after seeing that, let's move some of these over. Set up like this instead, potentially. Could have done that roll sooner, we would have had an Axon on field. Lucky to be able to find the tier 1s at this point here. They're only a 10% chance to actually find from level 8 onwards. And thankfully, at least for the bots, we're going to be able to take them down. Got all these augments onto my Octius. My Octius isn't great, but it at least has the little sideways Illuminati symbol going on in regards to its stats. Little resist, little attack speed, little omega. Everything else is very lackluster. Considering how easy it can be to find Octius, I would absolutely love to be able to find an upgrade for that sometime one day. That might not be in the cards for now, but here's where things finally get interesting. Sinalf is here once again. And this, of course, is much better, but now it's going to be lacking on levels. It's a little bit behind its Octius brethren. Is there anything else that I need from low levels? I don't think so. We're going up against Illuvium Hunter. They've got the Toxic going on, but at least it's only attack damage and healing. My team doesn't really do either right now, so this is, I feel like, a good matchup. Especially if we follow Sinalf, if we follow Aqua here in this fight. Let's see how much they can get in regards to snowballing. Already up to 200% on these Omegas, but can we get a little bit more before this round ends? There we go, closer to 300. Right as this one's going to end, and I realize I didn't actually trigger my Invoker either. I was Harbinger in that fight. Which at least, okay, yay, it's finally doing something. But that wasn't what I was looking for. But we were still thankfully able to at least win that round. I think I do need this Mammoth, though. I need to switch out the Leash for the Mammoth for a little bit of additional crowd control, flinging away the opponents as they get close. I feel like most of the time, if my team does well, it is because of Mammoth surviving and throwing people around. So let's do that. Leash, come on back. Mammoth, take center. And hopefully we get some Omega-related augments here. Would be an absolute blessing if we could. The time at least I find the most success is when I have the Immunis Reactor alongside a bunch of other either fusion or Omega power based augments. Let's see. You get some synergy. And none of it is Bulwark, so that's a little bit irritating, but we could very well go for Water. We can either gain on Omega. I can't remember, do I need to worry about healing? I feel like I do. Yeah, there's somebody running full. Somebody's running full nature, right? So let's try and do the healing variant with a Water Chip. Get rid of the Flish. Thank you for your service. Make this energy. Hang on a second. If it here is going from majority air, right? There is empaths involved in that. Let's try the one where you attack a shield and get more power. Try it that way. And then we'll throw this to... Okay, I was a little bit slow. But I'll give one tanky augment to somebody here in a second. The rest of my credits I'll put into level so we can level up to 9 next time by. Put one more bulwark onto the field, max out on health. And see if we can absolutely do this. This is the matchup that everybody always complains about as Scion players. And it looks like so far I'm going to be in the same boat. Getting absolutely crushed here in this fight. That was definitely very tough. Level 9, I mean, 62 credits, that's still very good. It's not like they all-ined and just killed me with a really, really strong all-in team. No, that's still a comfortable spot there for the bit. The attack speed I'm not going to need. Scion, I mean, the supercharger aspect of this is nice, but I already have 5 Scions. Imprint is not going to do me any good, I don't think. Additional nature, potentially. Maybe we can do something like that. Maybe send this off to my Mammoth, make them super tanky, assuming I could find a couple more. Level up. Rocco, get back into the fight. One more Octius, and we do get Granite now. I still did not have Invoker proc, so now that I'm actually paying attention here, let's ride along with Sinalf, with Aqua, as we do this fight with the double stacking augment as well as the Omega stacking Invoker trait. Let's see how high we can get this damage by the end of this round. Of course, the first couple of casts, it's not necessarily going to be the strongest, but that's okay. Now that we have the Mammoth there, it's able to keep shunting the Alluvials away, shunting them all out of the way, and grouping them up at the same time. That is what I'm looking for there. 346 now as we start to get towards the end. This is where we start building things up. Borderline 400% Omega power on these casts. And of course, Octius is also getting those. Same thing with my Ranger. Or actually, no, Octius isn't getting it. It's a piece of it. I bet. It's just the Ranger and the Sinalf that are getting the stacking bonuses currently in regards to Invoker. But yes, the Octius does have the right augment for additional stacking. And now let's see, has anybody else got any other Scions that I need to worry about? It doesn't look like it. So I have free reign to roll, I do believe, to find my my true carries of sorts. This is potentially something we can do as well. Oh, I really don't want to spend. Okay, we'll take Cling. Let's stay at 50. Let's see if we can get this. Getting an Adorito would change things big time. Because my team, of course, doesn't technically have any innate healing outside of the nature trait. Good first cast, but again, this is one of the teams that I'm worried about. Look at how much healing they have on the squad. Empaths, nature, verdant. So tanky of a squad, but if we actually find a couple of these finishing blows and let these invokers start to ramp up, we're already at 333 Omega power. We hit like a truck, but the thing is they have so much healing, so much shielding. We're very close to taking down that Fur Knight. That'd be huge if we can do so. Our Goliath is getting some serious value from these stuns. One more shot. We do finally get rid of the damn Fur Knight. So it's a big portion on damage gone. But again, I have no healing. And the shields are going to keep Hogan protected. So we will be shut down just a little bit longer. 24, there is no more room for me. I have to start making a move here now. Here's the change that we're going to make. Rocco, come back. Adorito, come through. Octius bind with the Ranger for Spore Invoker. Can I hit a carry? I just rolled past one. We will not hit it. I might have got a little bit greedy just pulling this Adorito out of nowhere. But hopefully I have enough to take out Ziffit here in this instance. Again, 5 air, 3 dust, but at least I have some decent firepower now, and I do have Spore to potentially stop some of their damage. I don't think that's going to be enough, though, as it stands right now. Aqua with a good shot there onto that little Winx, but it is not going to be enough. That damn Dokal is right on top of me, and the stun comes on through. So assuming this takes me out, I might be out of luck. I mean, we're getting some good heals here. We're getting a couple eliminations. If we're lucky, maybe we get one more round, but I don't think we will. Oh, for the second time in a row, we're going to barely hang on. Oh. Sheesh, we're getting lucky with this. We got an NPC round as well, so I actually got time to breathe. Best case scenario, we find a Heady. Just truly bulk up our squad just a little bit more. Then one more Squiz, we have a Fisto, and that will be 3 Invoker. If we can somehow find 2 more to get Duel up as well, we'd be in a beautiful spot. And heck, if we find Adoritos, we're in a great spot too, because now I'm currently at 5 nature as well. So this is an Invoker team that is basically meant to just sit there and ramp. It's not going to kill you on the first couple of shots, not a chance. Healing efficiency, let's nuke it. Support. Max shield to everybody. Let's roll. I can't use that. A Fisto is here. Can we find Duelap? We will not. So with that being the case, let's get our piercing and our mass stacking over to a Fisto. Sinolf is still going to do a ton of damage, and it does have energy piercing as well. But it does require to actually find some eliminations. Let's see how these first couple of casts end up going. If I get the chance at another fight, I need to switch the places of a Fisto into Tofi. Give me some last hits here. There we go. But Rip Lance is right on my Fisto. That's not what I want to see in the slightest. A good little parting gift, but I think this Rip Lance might be able to do enough damage to tear through me. And the misposition on my Fisto, I think, is going to cost me dearly. Unless somehow, Aqua, can you clutch up in the last possible moment, get one more cast? They will not be able to do so. The misposition on a Fisto is going to punish me. And we will fall out of here in 4th place. Damn, kicking myself over that one. I have that swapped out, and if Fisto gets a couple more casts in, this would be a different game all entirely. Nice to see Aqua scoring themselves a level up, though, getting up to 26. Heck, even Squiz getting in there as well. Getting Alfie into the field so early also let it level up, or not level up, but get a bunch more experience. About 9,000 experience on that one. But again, this game is not over. So let's take a look and see what we've got here for our remaining top 3 players who have spent everything on these next couple of rounds. Round 24, and everybody is broke. For our fight here between the 2 players actually competing against each other, we do have Hogan and Illuvium Hunter. Hogan just picked up that Adorius right here on the left-hand side. It may not be the tankiest fella, but it's got the stats, I'd argue, where it matters. Has that Omega power for some big, big heals. Meanwhile, on the other side here, again, this Rip Lance that just kicked my ass, well, I feel a little less bad knowing that it was nearly a godlike, or it is a godlike Rip Lance. Literally just missing a tiny bit of Omega power. They need to level up a little bit more. That is a terrifying Rip Lance coming out here from Illuvium Hunter. Meanwhile, off in the back line, we do see this Furiox peppering away. Does have at least the attack damage and Omega Power necessary. And all of this coming together looks like it's doing quite a good job here for Illuvium Hunter. These shields and heals are getting pretty well out of control, but the numbers game here for Hogan is going against them big time. They need that overtime pulsing to start coming on through, and they need it to come out now and just potentially let Adorius be the last one standing. But it is like a 9-on-1 at this point. I don't think you survive this, even with all those shields. Hogan will be taken down. Ziffit does win their match against the Ghost opponent, so Ziffit's still in this game as well. Then again, with Ziffit here in the red, opting for the 5 air, 5 earth, 3 dust, 2 bloom, with lots of rogues and fighters. They've got the tank stats. They have the scaling damage. Bloom, Frost is now available here as well, where enemies every couple of seconds, looks like every 8 seconds, lose energy regen and then their Omega Power. So the longer this fight goes, the more dangerous Ziffit's composition is going to be, and it's much easier to get to those endgame scenarios if you happen to have a bunch of tank stats with your DPS units. And so far, actually right now, this looks pretty good for Hogan. Sitting inside the Verdant, so many of Hogan's teammates or Alluvials are going to be able to sit inside and just get consistent passive healing. The tanks are doing a great job. Adorius in the center, just not even touched as of this point. And of course, not only doing big heals, but big damage as well. Does have a little bit of an execute with that heal as well. So Ziffit with a very valiant effort, but they shall be out-sustained. The DPS units will end up falling. Hogan going to take this one. Ziffit going to fall, but Illuvium Hunter also took a loss in their last round. We have potentially what could be our final battle here in this ranked matchup. Got Illuvium Hunter in the red, Hogan in the green again, with the massive amounts of healing for Mystic as well. So every time an ally faints, you heal 35% of your max health. No wonder why this team seems unkillable. Meanwhile, on the other side, we do again. Illuvium Hunter going to be looking at that Rip Lance to see what it can do. It's going directly towards the Fernite, directly towards the Adorius as well, but I guess that Caradulo, it is there to try and stop it in its tracks. Can it get through there quickly? Yes, it can. It's on top of the carries, specifically on top of that Fernite. Fernite is immediately going to get taken down before it even has the time to ramp. Adorius is in trouble, getting focused by this Rip Lance. It might just be the one Alluvial, but that might be the only one that you need. Can it heal before it goes down? It does one more time, but the Rip Lance has done its job. Illuvium Hunter's Rip Lance now gets the opportunity to turn and burn on some of these tanks. There goes the Twine. How about the Glyant's right there as well? While all of this is happening, of course, the numbers for Illuvium Hunter have also been falling, but not as much as Hogan's. We have about a 5-on-7 going into the last portion of this fight as the overtime clock starts ticking. But I am seeing those green health bars. They're going down. Geyser is going to be the last one standing, which means Hogan will lose this one, but not enough to get taken out of this game. 5 HP in a dream to maybe turn this one back around. But I mean, that's a very easy change I feel like Hogan can do in this instance. Just the massive positioning error that basically let the Rip Lance tear through the lone Caradulo that was tanking for both the Fernite and the Adorius. Had that not happened, this would have been a much different game. We've got some positioning. We're going to get a little bit of an influx of credits and augments for this last possible fight. See what they can end up picking up here and how much credits are they going to be getting. Everybody should be around 30, I think, by the time this next round starts. And then what kind of upgrades can we look for? Both Illuvium Hunter and Hogan chasing Blazonite, I do believe. Hogan one away. Meanwhile, Illuvium Hunter, very, very far away, has the one little Fern on the bench, but that's about it. What could they possibly score of these last couple of credits? How does this one end up going down? Nice defensive formation here with the Adorius dead center. Not going to opt to make that mistake again. But I see no upgrades here for Illuvium Hunter. Hogan is looking. Couple credits left in the bank. So close to potentially finding it. Still, again, just the one Fern away from a blast, and I think find it on the last roll! Everything came down to a completely empty credit line, but this also forced a last-minute scramble in terms of positioning, wanting to protect both the Adorius and the Blazonite. Force it to where I'd argue the Adorius might be a little bit exposed, but you do have two bodyguards there for it. You've got the app on that does not see much airtime at all on teams anymore because it lost its damage amplification buff. But the Ranger is also there as a verdant mystic to be able to try and protect both of these alluvials. But so far, the front line, they've been absolutely massacred. The Rip Lance and the rest of the squad here from Illuvium Hunter are doing exactly what they need to do. But here come the shields. Can the Adorius hang on? That is, I'm going to argue, probably the biggest one alongside this Blazonite, because the Blazonite has absolutely nothing for shields. Now it does. Big shields coming on through, but Rip Lance is still here. It's still healthy. It is a 3-on-7, and the numbers game is just going to be too damn much here for Hogan. A valiant effort, but this one is going to go to Illuvium Hunter. GG's, everybody. May not have had the numbers in their advantage off the start, but they definitely did near the end of those fights over and over again. GG's, well played, everybody. Whew. Quick breather for a second. About halfway through the stream, just over halfway through the stream. Going to be going until about 5:30 here my time today. So about another 45 minutes or so. Probably enough for another game and a half. Maybe a game or two, rather. We'll see what we can do. And of course, this is still just the start of the week here for me. I personally will be doing some streaming for 2 more days this week. I do have This Week in Illuvium coming up on Wednesday at 3:30. We have a lot to talk about because one of the co-founders here in Warwick, of course, did just post on X. And of course, as I do normally say, if I don't have an announcement with dates, it doesn't exist. But with it being Kieran, I still do hold what they say in high regard, even if it's still kind of speculatory or like not exactly like in place as of this moment. So there's a big post I want to take a look at there. And then, of course, Illuvium Beyond has a couple of interesting topics there as well, alongside Zero. We actually, I think, have an MMO release date for at least a month and a year kind of announced, which is rather exciting. And then one thing that kind of trolled the Illuvium community, especially the Arena community, a little bit early last weekend was the thought of there being Illuvium Arena 2 on Steam that is completely Web 2, which means, of course, no crypto or Web 3 aspects in the slightest, which got everybody into a panic. What did it actually end up being? It's nothing to FUD over. Everything's going to be okay, I promise. But we'll go over it all that and a lot more on This Week in Illuvium. And then I'll be casting your matches on Friday, once again, similar to what we did last week. We have the availability for it, so we'll go for it. And you can see that, plus all of my upcoming live streams on my YouTube channel. The schedule is there, not just in the graphic, but in the upcoming stream section. I did some work to make sure that I have everything planned out, not just for this week, but would you be surprised if I told you that I have everything for the month of March already planned? 'Cause I'd arguably say that I do. This is going to be another tough lobby. I believe this is a 6 out of 8. Looking forward to seeing how this one turns up. See if I can hopefully not make any positioning errors this time. That's what cost me in that last one. Still kicking myself about it because I feel like had I swapped the TNT and the Aphiso's positioning, that I would have had a couple more lightning shots, which would have could have very well gotten me into a spot where I could have, I don't know, maybe went a little bit further. Take the healing version of this to start things off. Getting the 1 Omega Cell, that's a nice start for once, compared to constantly getting the strike cells for the damage components. And there we go, another one. There we go. It's nice not having to recycle all of my augments off the start points. I still have the 1, but I can still do some work with these 2 that I have. Do something like that. Kids sound like they're having a fantastic time, as always. This Croco can come forth. Set ourselves up with something like that. Empath early, I really don't think really does anything. Bulwark is probably the way to go. I feel like just having the additional HP is going to be huge. Unfortunate that the Tipo is not in range to actually shield my entire team. Now, as soon as that Fleesh actually takes a cast here, I could be cooked unless I can one-shot it. Gonna be barely short. Yeah, we'll lose this one. Just barely. Okay, Scion weapons. Scion weapons. Am I not gonna get a Scion weapon? Oh, we do in the last possible roll. That was risky, but we got it. And we do get another Omega Cell as well. So best case scenario so far, I'd argue in regards to augments, not doing too shabby at all. If they're going to be the next one we go up against. Do they stay at level 3 as well? I think they do. So unless my TNT can carry, I think I'm pretty well cooked. Let's see. Ranger damage is pretty good as well. Fleesh is going to get that Doka down at least. Lots of low health bars. I just need a cast. Too much burst damage. Got absolutely crushed. Unlucky. Another Scion Imprint. I'm going to hit 5, so I arguably don't want that. Water is a little bit better. I mean, Solid Start is nice to have for 3 seconds. However, it basically kind of buys me time for one more cast, but then after that, there's nothing else I get value. I personally like the energy regen. Then finding the Archie, I'm going to move it into position. Kind of act like a pseudo tank of sorts as we go up against one of the bots. The bots could very well beat us still, though, because they do actually get levels and stats with their Lugios. So the numbers game being this low does actually make a huge difference now, because I think we will actually lose this 100%. Especially since the Ranger did not actually get a cast off on that Emberling Rod. Damage is going to keep on coming, but we're probably going to hit level 4. Pick up a couple of Krokos. I think I liked the Spore idea from the last game with the Emberling Rod. See if I can possibly pull this off again. Again, I think the team comp was essentially fine, just offense wasn't necessarily the greatest, and then positioning was definitely not great. Oh no, my apologies, I'll be 1 second. My apologies. Randomly had somebody knocking at the door, was not expecting anybody. So I guess we're going to be playing loose streaking. Thank you for bearing with me. That does not happen too often. I don't expect company that often. But it's the good kind of company. Of course, to those who have been following the stream for a long time, you will know about my struggles with my landlord. How the guy was basically letting my apartment collapse in on me due to waters leaking and holes and all that kind of jazz. Fun stuff. Very, very fun stuff. Well, I just learned that my apartment now has new management. And these people are actually under a company. And the building is actually getting properly taken care of now. And I could not be happier. Oh. So very happy about that, but we still got a game at hand here. So we're back on the swing of things, thankfully not losing to a bot. And apologies, I wouldn't have ran away from the stream if it wasn't important, so again, thank you all. Alright, TNT is here. Since we have this, let's get another stack. It's actually not too shabby for Scion Augments early, but of course I kind of stalled myself. Did nobody pick up TNTs at all? You know what? We're rolling this game. We haven't the last two. Maybe we do this time. I'm going to go down to 70. Start finding... I should have sold this guy instead. Too early for that. There. Let's go here. There we go. Big pickup. Big upgrades. It's not going to show up in this battle here. Oh, I just realized I'm playing up against Abra in this game too, eh? Abra always goes air with a Kuka Wrap as the carry. So I need more piercing than normal. We can see already 3 air, so it's something I got to keep in mind. Yeah, because nobody went for Tatofi, I should be able to get potentially a very greedy style of Invoker. Where's the damage? There it is. Can we manage the hit Tatofi? Get Sephoris. Finding Fern just raw like this, though, I think I'm not going to complain about that either. Maybe do something like this. I'd argue then maybe set up kinda like that. I'd argue maybe even the Fern would be a little bit better to be stacking, at least early. Normally I don't pick a Fern on my team, but if it's going to throw 3 of them at me like that, I mean, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to say no. Does get me empath as well. And how is my Fern actually? I mean, it's got attack speed at least and a little bit of damage or a lot of resistance. And we will be able to win this one. Barely going to take it off a nudge. And I'm not going to complain about having more nature as well. Shaking a little bit over the fact that we actually gonna get some better living conditions in here. Okay, Hogan did pick up a TNT now, so that's a little bit irritating. Tier 4s, I mean, it doesn't really benefit Scions too much. I'm gonna ignore for now. 30 seconds, second win. Let's give that a shot. How many do you have, Hogan? Just the one? Okay, I'm gonna try and make a move now while they're still on the board. Even if it does mean I get hurt a little bit. Oh, we do get it. There we go. Not too bad. Still being at about 60 credits as well. Having Sephoris. Beautiful. We'll pick up another one of these absorbing pulse reactors. We'll give that back to Sephoris. Something like this. Give this to you. Let's score the immunity. Give it to a tank, because when in a spot where we're at now, what can oftentimes happen due to Sephoris' big windup, it would get interrupted rather consistently. Hopefully, with the immunity, it can stop that from happening at least once or twice. We're going to level up, get our Kiradulo onto the board. We can get Toxic now as well for a little bit of extra tankiness at the same time. And we're not too shabby positioning. Instead of Harbinger, maybe I should have gone for Invoker, but at least Harbinger is still good. Especially since we're getting Toxic at the same time. Maybe I stall on Invoker for a little bit early. Just to keep the Harbinger going. I mean, Sephoris is still doing quite the good job so far, but you can tell it's not stacking anywhere near as much as it used to in the last game. But it doesn't need to. It's just getting enough shots. Maybe throwing the Fern onto this composition so that I'm also doing interrupts might not be a bad idea. Okay, so now I just need my tier 3 tanks and my late game damage. So both of those can be fixed by the same thing, just doing leveling. And we're cruising. Yeah, we should be able to take down this bot without much of an issue, I imagine. I mean, I like the idea what they're going for. At least the augments are on something that could actually use it. Throwing the 2 energy sapping augments onto a little Ador so it gets the heal and damage out more often. That makes sense. But we are stronger, even if we are lower level. Already got the middle stage evolutions. I'm not going to change Caribou or Atlas much further, so we're going to level up here. Add 1 more additional Scion. Which one's my better one? Probably the one with the... 1 more Scion on board. A little bit of additional bulk. Level up halfway through 7. Maybe in the next round we can get up to 8. And then around level 9 is when we'll actually start doing our rolling. Up against Hogan, they're also level 6, so what were they trying to do? Magma, Bulwark, Empath mix? Just a stall comp on top of Magma? That's interesting. You might be okay for now, but if they do end up pulling this off, and we can't actually burst them down, we could be cooked, literally. Bank the Bank up next. What are they running? Empaths and Rogues? I'm seeing a lot of Empaths. God dang. Okay. Level up to 8. Do I have something that I could actually place them? Really? Could put a temporary fiery in there. Snuggle up, everybody. Just adding more Scions. Even if they die quickly, I don't care. It's just the fact that I can get more Scion bonuses to give to Sephirus. Because now we're at plus 30 Omega power right off the start, which as we can see, we're already passing that 200 mark within the first couple seconds. And this should hopefully build even further. And I don't even have Invoker enabled currently. So we're going to be able to get to about 250 just off of the raw augment alone. As soon as I pull the trigger on Invoker, we'll be in great space. I just need Sinolf to show up so I can actually get Toxic Invoker. I do want to keep Toxic so that the attack damage and healing efficiency does drop. NPC around here as well. I think I'm not going to mind picking up Scarabah. We'll get about halfway up to level 8. We don't have any more tier 0s coming in, so we can get rid of the access bench space. The Scarabah's actually the only thing that I'm currently working on, but again, we got Tianti, or Sporus rather. So we're in good shape there. Still second in the lobby, 73 health. One more fusion crate potentially. Let's reduce healing even more, but we'll give that to Fernite. Refund energy cost for more casts. I like the sound of that. And then Strike, we can give this to Fernite as well. Let's trade out our Bulwark for Bulwark. Brocco can take a break while Scarabah goes in. This is Arcanite Inferno? Is that what's going on here? Holy smokes, that's a lot of fire. Granted, thankfully, Arcanite, I'd argue, sucks now. 2 Omega Power and 2 damage every 3 attacks is basically nothing, I feel like, when I can then have this instead. I feel like. But I could be wrong. I didn't necessarily do the math on it. Let's see how this goes. If we can just survive the first couple of seconds, I think we'll be in great shape. Oh, what a shot from the Scarabok. That stunned the entire team. I think we were in good shape anyway, but damn, that stun was absolutely crazy. What's everybody doing? Apra's already down to 5 HP. Damn. I mean, they found the Kukurap. Found the Empath. Surprised they're down so much so early. That's a lot of Earth. Omnivamp, potentially. Another Nature Prince. Attack speed. I mean, this is weird, because I have some attack speed on the team right now. But do I always want them there? I'd argue no. I am missing a lot of my tanks that would get me nature. So, you know what? Let's just go for attack speed, see how it goes this game. Hetty is one of the tanks that I would be looking for. And we now have Granite online once again. And level up. Add Hetty to the board, so that's our 4 Scion, 4 Bulwark combo now ready. But I can't do 5-5 this time because Fur Knight does screw up the combo. But this is probably the time where we start rolling. I'll start looking for Alfie. Is anybody else picking up Alfie? Let's move over to a second to keep watching. Does anybody else have Alfie? Does anybody else have Squiz? No. Do I just skip Squiz? Maybe I'll have to, because this is technically our battle of the top 2. And it's just Bloom. It's just having so much health to have to burn through, eh? Okay, so I think I know of a way that we can maybe try and deal with this. It's going to require the Recycler to go in our favor, though. Here's another Scion. Let's replace Flish. Put this into the Recycler, hoping to get the percentage auto attack version. Give that to Seaforus. Squiz, Squiz. And there's Alfie. Sake of composition, this is what I want. Let's get Invoker online. Kyrgox is a little bit out of place. I'd argued that I'd want that to be a Mammoth instead. But maybe just tacking on more firepower that happens to be physical in nature might be a lifesaver. Because we're doing okay. Our tank line, even though they are a little bit on the weaker side, on the right side, up with the Goliath, it's doing quite nicely. Take out the Axodon. Alfie's still shooting on through. Big damage, and then, of course, the interrupts from the Fur Knight. Actually doing quite nicely. So this might be the mix that I need to go for, where it's not a purely Omega Power based Scion team, but maybe a mix. Not a... How many times am I going to hit loop for this thing not to loop? Okay, there's Mammoth, so we do get the level up. Didn't get the right augment, so we're going to have to keep playing tag with our Recycler. And we get the Alfie online. There we go. That's an additional Invoker. spent a little bit to get this one done. Let's see how this goes. Again, Ziff at top of the lobby as of this moment. Lot riding on Sephoris, lot riding on the Furiox as well in regards to the damage. Same thing here with Aqua, our brand new Sinolf. Of course, just graciously gifted to us from Sir Dexter. We're looking a lot stronger so far, but I still don't want to call this one safe. It's all a matter of dealing with that Forest that's off on the left-hand side. I'm glad they're dealing with the Seafarers right now instead of the rest of these units. It's close. I think we're still going to end up losing, though. The Ranger shot's not going to catch the rest of these Alluvials and the Ranger. One more shot. Hang on. Do we actually win? We do actually get it. And we're still not getting the right augment here for this one. What do I want to do about this? Like, I'm torn. Do I want to get rid of Fur Knight and just add on the additional Scion? Part of me says yes. A little shot there. That was an accident. Yeah. Field crate for some additional resistances right off the rip. Sure, let's do that. We are all over the place in terms of what we can do. Energy piercing, I think. We can quickly build this up. Something potentially. And we did get the right augment there too for Furiox. How did it throw? Oh, it's the Ranger. Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way that anything threaded that needle, but the Ranger could definitely do so. Tank the bank in this one. There we go. Furiox is doing good, but now here comes the blind and the silences. It's going to slow me down. If I moved Sephoris out there, I should have moved the augment, so that's a fair loss in that regard. But the Ranger's going to clutch up here right at the right time, I think, for me. Not enough to get rid of the Rake. We're going to get rid of it, though, at least with the Octius. It's going to be a close battle, but we don't quite have the firepower just yet. Optimally, I have this on something and I switch my augments around. It'd be a much closer fight. Heck, I still need to figure out what I'm doing with my mammoths. Just kind of sitting there doing nothing as of this moment. Let's see, what can I get rid of? Feels like it's Furiox or nothing. Like that. You. Like that. Who do I get rid of? I think I can do so. I'm going to wait up for one more round here, I think. Pick up the squiz just in case we start to level. And hopefully we can take this next one here versus Ziff. Let's see, Sinolf, what you got? This should be a good shot. And that is a beautiful shot right on through, taking Adorito out nice and quick. So the heals are gone, but at the same time, we don't have a whole heck of a lot for heals ourselves. Archos is doing their best. But it's definitely not going to out-heal Bloom, and that is some big damage coming on through. Scary, scary stuff. Got a lot of things that we're shooting to go for, but I don't think that much that we actually can go for. Do I level up to throw? Who's torn right now? argue that maybe I even have to throw Furiox on the bench. Because it's the Scions that I'm overloaded on. Like this potentially. So damn slow. Of course, I'm gonna find the Scoriox after I pulled it off the board. Heartbreaking if we do end up losing this one. Oh god, my poor Mammoth just got completely destroyed. And we live anyway. Bail me out one here, potentially, but that dust. Oh, we're gonna end up losing this anyway. Damn. It definitely was not my best day of competing here today. We're gonna get the podium one more time. But indecisiveness is definitely biting me here. Whew. And we actually do end up getting second because Tank the Bank got hit harder. So we do end up second. I'll gladly take that. And heck, we did hit our goal. We did hit 2,000. But I'm definitely going to be doing VOD review on this one because there is a lot that I could have done better in terms of actual execution. Had I said, let's go for Mammoth, maybe I should have committed to that a little bit harder, just selling Furiox off immediately. Because, yeah, I'm just so damn slow. So slow at actually performing in the arena, it is crazy. And they say that this is a boring low APM game. Not a chance. But GG's, of course, everybody. I'm thankful I had the opportunity to compete one more time, get a little bit, or one more ranked grind session on stream until hopefully there's a ranked reset on Thursday. In theory, there should be. Every Thursday at the end of the month there is. So I imagine that right after this week in Illuvium, there'll be that reset. And hopefully, we'll see if we have something to fight for by chance when that happens as well. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I would love to see it happen. We will have to see. But with that, I will be closing up the stream in just a moment. I do, of course, as you saw in the stream a little bit earlier where I had to leave for a second, do have some, I guess, landlord slash building maintenance I do have to take part in. So we'll get that done as soon as we can. And of course, it's not the only time I am streaming, of course, this week. You will see me here once again on Wednesday at 3:30 my time in the afternoon, or 8 p.m. UTC for This Week in Illuvium. We have a ton to talk about thanks to an ex-post from Illuvium co-founder Kieran Warwick, and then a bunch of other Illuvium news and community highlights that I absolutely want to go over. Then on Friday, we'll be back one more time as well, as I want you to, again, to show me what you got. New ranked season in theory. Let's see a rank up live. I'll cast your matches like we've been doing the last couple Fridays. I have the availability, so I don't mind doing it again. And then we'll get into next week slowly but surely after that. But again, just big thank you for everybody for tuning in. If you happen to have been new here to the stream, it would mean the world to me if you can either drop a follow, whether it be on X or on Twitch, or a subscription onto the YouTube channel, especially the YouTube channel. I am focusing a lot harder on making more content that is like actual long form, not just streaming, not just shorts. I'm going to be experimenting over the next couple of weeks, including something especially special going towards March break weekend or spring break week. So definitely would love to have you come on back and have a fantastic time. Come hang out again and watch as we continue to see Illuvium grow together. But for the time being, that'll have to be all. I will catch you all on Wednesday. Thank you again so much for tuning in.